Hi everybody, how are you doing this week? I hope everybody's doing well and everything is going great for you. This week for our lesson, we're going to kind of talk a little bit about healthy relationships. Healthy relationships are very important for us to have in our lives. There are many different kinds of relationships that we have in our life. And so we're going to kind of talk a little bit about what are healthy relationships, what are some things that maybe we need to have within our healthy relationships, and looking at some of those different types. We're going to kind of be going through a little bit of a workbook here together, and I'm hoping that we can kind of work together to help identify the importance of having a personal and healthy relationship. One part that is very important in a new or in any kind of healthy relationship is to have rules. But why do we have rules? Well, let's talk a little bit about these relationship rules. Rules are your rules. Your rules in a new relationship or in a healthy relationship tell other people how you want to be treated, how and what you expect from other people in the variety of kinds of relationships you have is very important. So you have to know what your rules are. Your rules can be about many things. Your rules can be about how close people can be to you. How much room do you like? We've talked a little bit about before, like having a space bubble. When you have other people around you, do you want them to give you a lot of room? Do you want people to give you just a little bit of room? Kind of looking at a little bit of a graphic here. What are you kind of looking for? A lot of room, you don't want a lot of people around you, you're kind of on your own? Or are you looking to have people right next to you? It's okay if you're in a big group. It doesn't bother you to have a lot of your own space within being around other people and within your relationships. Thinking about the rules of your body. Who gets to touch you? When do people get to touch you? And where do people get to touch you? I want you to think about those things. You know, who, when, and where. There's different kinds of people within our world, and some people don't like to have other people touch them. Some people are big on handshakes. Some people don't like handshakes. Other people like to give a high five, maybe knuckles. At this time, we have to really be careful with who we have touch us or if we want to be touched. We're really working hard on keeping ourselves healthy and keeping ourselves safe, as well as the other people that we're around, making sure that the other people that we're with are staying healthy and are staying safe. So how do you want that to happen? If you meet somebody, do you want a handshake? Do you not? Do you just want to wave? Some people are huggers. I'm a hugger. It's really hard for me right now knowing that you can't hug a lot of people, your family, the people that you're really close with. But who is that person that you are okay with having that kind of touch? Handshakes, hugging, high fives. What are your rules on your body? This here again gives us a little bit of a graphic with that. What are you okay with? A little bit more of a distant handshake, a loving hug from maybe a family member that you have been missing. What are you okay with? Also, when we think about our rules, we have to think about what our feelings are. Your feelings. How do you want people to talk to you? When people are having a conversation with you, when people are communicating with you, how do you want them to talk to you? Would you like that nicely with respect? When they are showing you respect, are they respecting your space? We've talked about how close you want people to you. Are they respecting your touch? If you want just a handshake or a wave, are they respecting your tone of voice? How are they talking to you? Are they using soft tones if you like to have a soft conversation? Are they speaking a little bit louder? Maybe you need to have somebody talk a little bit louder so you can hear them. Are they talking to you so that you can understand what they're saying? Are they talking fast enough, clear enough, slow enough? How do you want someone to talk to you? Those are rules that you also need to have, that you also need to establish. So do you want them to talk to you with those kinds of ways of respect? Or do you want people to talk to you not very nicely or have no respect? Is it okay with you if they maybe call you a nickname or a name that you don't really like, hey you, come here, instead of using your name and saying, hey Larry, can you come over here please? They're just going to be like, hey you, get over here. How do you want them to talk to you? We really need to think about why the rules that we have in a relationship are important. Why do we have those rules? Well, there's one big main reason. Rules let you choose. Those rules are allowing you to choose how people treat you. The kind of respect that you are needing from your friends. The kind of respect that you are needing from the other people in your life. They're also letting you choose who you spend time with, how people are treating you, and help you to choose who your friends are. You have likes, you have dislikes, you have interests. By having these rules established and things that you want and that you like, it's going to help you choose who your friends are. Who are those important people that will be with you throughout the day and with you as you do different things that you want to do. So think about what your rules are. Maybe write them down. Maybe come up with a list of a few rules of how you want other people to treat you. What kind of rules do you want in your relationships? Once you write those down or have identified what your rules are, now we have to teach other people about those rules. You may know what your rules are, but you're going to have to teach others what those rules are. You're going to have to help other people to know how they should be treating you or how they should be interacting with you. So first we have to think about that. Who do we want to teach? Who do we think are important people that they should know these rules about us? These are some examples or some suggestions. It could be our friends, if we have a boyfriend or a girlfriend, maybe a coworker, staff, supervisors if we're working with different supervisors. Maybe you also need to teach your family. You're all growing. You're all learning new things. As we grow and we develop and we learn new things, maybe we still need to let our family know. This is what I want. This is what I need. This is what I want in my relationships. These are my rules. So, identify who you want those rules to be known to. Then after you know who you want to tell those things to, how are you going to do it? That could be the tough part. Here's some suggestions. How do you do it? When you're talking to somebody and explaining how you want to be treated, sit up, stand up straight. Make sure that you are confident. Your body language is showing that you are confident. You're going to sit up straight, stand up straight, and you're going to make sure you look the other person in the eye. Make that eye contact with somebody else. Then you're going to teach them what your rule is. If you don't like it when people sit too close, you could say, hey, excuse me, but I don't like it when you sit so close to me. You need to let them know. Excuse me, could you maybe sit back a little bit? I don't like it when people are sitting that close to me. You're going to have to let them know. Teaching them about your rules, you need to let them know what all those rules are that you have identified. Also, you need to think to yourself, and if you want to share with other people, which one of those rules could accidentally be broken? We will have rules of how we want to be treated. We will have rules and what we want to have from other people. But sometimes those rules are going to be broken. What rule are you okay with if it's accidentally broken? Make sure that you have that identified beforehand, making sure that you know what rule would be okay if it's broken. And then think about how you want to tell people. Maybe write it down. You have your list of what your rules are. Write down what those lists or ways that you could tell that to other people. The way that you would tell your friends and family about what your rules are might need to have a different approach when you talk to your coworkers or your supervisor. The kinds of relationships we have are different. I treat my family different than I treat my coworkers. My family has known me my whole life. My coworkers have only known me, well, if it's here, for about 4 years. Those are different ways that we are communicating with other people in our lives and the other relationships that we have in our lives. We need to make sure that we're open and we're always communicating with people on what those rules are and why we have them and why we want to express those to other people. So the last thing I'm going to talk to you about today, I'd like to kind of continue talking more about relationships and other lessons as we move forward. But today, just really focusing on what are the rules of your relationship and how do you want other people to treat you, and making sure that you're identifying those rules and telling those to other people. The best way to do that is through communication. Good, strong, positive communication. That is the key. That is the important part. Talk about your rules. Be honest about your feelings. And at the same time, be a good listener. If you're expecting respect from other people, you have to be respectful in that return, in that listening of what they have to say too. Be fair. Fight fair. No temper tantrums. Don't threaten anyone or don't call anyone names. Things that we say and things that come out of our mouth are things that we can't take back. So make sure if you disagree or have a different opinion, fight fair. Don't have a temper tantrum. No threats and no name calling. Making sure that communication is strong and solid. Here's some tips. A couple of communication tips before we finish up with our lesson today. Remember, your rules are important. You expressing and telling other people what those rules are is very important. And having that strong communication to do it. So when you have something important to say, make sure you're picking the right time to talk about it. Make sure it's a time when you both have time to talk. You might be ready to talk about it, but is the person that you're trying to talk to, is it a good time for them? Did they have time to sit down and really focus on what you're trying to say to them? Make sure it's in a place where no one else can hear you. Make sure it's a place where you can have that private conversation together. Making sure that you're choosing the right place to talk. It's a private place to talk. It's quiet. It's going to allow you both to be able to hear what the other one has to say. Make sure you pay attention. They need to pay attention to you as well as you pay attention to them. Do not answer calls. Don't be on your phone. Don't be watching TV. Don't be listening to a song on the radio. Don't be distracted by what other people are doing. Make sure it's a time where you both can sit and focus on what each other has to say. And if you are angry or if you are upset, if you have any feelings of anger or being upset, calm down before you talk. Communication is a huge key to so many things that we do in our lives. Any kind of relationship that you have with another person, communication comes to the top of that list. If we're feeling upset, frustrated, angry, we need to tell that to other people. But we need to calm down first so that when we talk about those things and the importance of our rules, they're coming out as how important they are and not out of frustration. I'm going to kind of leave it off here at this point for this week. I'd like to continue to talk more about relationships as we move forward, about healthy relationships with our friends, family, and others. So we'll kind of continue this a little bit more. Have yourself a great week, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.